Hi there, welcome to another educational video documenting my Web3 expedition. This video is about Project X, a new project that launched on Hyperevm that may interest you, should interest you, by the way. It's just hours old and it already has a TVL of 19.6 million, volume of 8.6 million, fees of 18,000 being distributed, I believe, to users. And again, it gives you exposure to the Hyperliquid ecosystem. You never know, Hyperliquid may involve hyper EVM users and their second airdrop. You never know. Project X itself has a point system. Though this may be to measure your use of the platform, it may translate into an airdrop. And I'm doing this video also to encourage the project founders to keep building. It's tough to build in Web3 and to encourage you as well to look into Project X. I will show you their Twitter account next. But for now, let's get started. By the way, this is the third video I'm doing on this. So there was some complications in getting my funds over to Hyperevm using the bridge options available. So I did the first video, second video, and this is the third video. I just decided, generally, I don't edit my videos, however lengthy they are, but I just decided to do a shorter version this time. So just to simplify the process. So resolution in terms of moving funds over to Hyper EVM is using Jumper, but you need to use the refueler option when using Jumper. Now, with Relay, it doesn't have the refueler option. It will not work if you are trying to move funds over to um, Hyper EVM, even though it features the Hyper EVM chain. The reason is because when you try multiple times, it may keep failing, and there will be no indication of the reason. So I found the reason out when using Jumper for bridging. So uh, the reason is because there needs to be a secondary approval after the bridge is completed from Hyperliquid, your Hyperliquid wallet, which needs to have gas fee on it. And if you're just starting out, you would not have gas fee on the destination chain. So the best approach so I got stuck here basically, and then I was looking for another way of moving funds over, some hype over for gas fee so that I can sign this one. But all the options I tried were not working. Relay was not working. Gas Zip wasn't working. Stargate doesn't have the option of moving hype. Hype being the gas token on Hyper EVM. So you see the gas token on Hyper EVM. Wow. So I've not even moved the funds over. It failed. So I'm going to try again. Anyway, the way to so you will see now that I've managed to move gas over to hype. And I'll tell you how in a bit, but let's try this again. Wow, still the same issue. So RPC, the issue now is this. If I don't succeed, if I cancel this, I don't know if I'll get a refund, if the funds will be stuck somewhere. Let me see my balance. Wow. This is this is out of hand. So I got USDE. How did this happen? This is something else. So basically, in my bridge transaction was to get hype. So you see, ETH to hype. So this was the transaction, but it swapped to USDE. Wow. And this is using the Glacis route because I used the relay route. It wasn't working. So I ended up getting USDE instead. So you see, you may get the gist now when you are performing yours. Uh, So it's likely the fund depending. I mean, using this route, this was one of the three routing options. There was also symbiosis, but this one got me USDE instead of hype as expected. And I don't know how that happened, but we can swap, of course, swap USDE for hype. So my aim basically is now it's a bit disorderly, but my aim is to contribute liquidity here. So this is where I was headed to show you the robustness of liquidity opportunities on Hyperliquid. So my aim is to deposit into this pool here, Hype USDT, with 93% APY. But let's see, if I were to swipe, is there the option of USDE here? So there is. So of course, this is going to turn into a feedback video for the founders. I don't know why that happened, but it turns out positive because let me see if there is a vault involving USDE here. Okay, so there is one, it's not robust. Okay, so I'm going to swap. I'm sure swap is one of the activity to earn you points. So let's swap. Let's swap for hype first off so that we don't fall short on gas. There's impact, price impact, likely because it doesn't have a robust pool. Let's see if I were to swipe for this. So this would have been pegged. So let's swipe for it. Let's swap for this first. Transaction failed. Wow. Hmm. Now this is something. Now I can't really tell if my gas fee is too low. I would doubt that. So how can we improvise? Let's go back to jumper. Let's go back to jumper. And what we will do is attempt to swap on the same chain. So USDE for hype. And then we have, let's do this. Wow. So it's looking like RPC issues. I don't know any other RPC. Just a moment. Let's try this. So you see why I don't edit my videos generally, because you'll encounter such in Web3, and there's no avenues for resolution, like centralized avenues for resolution. You'll end up getting, making inquiries and getting like posers trying to help and stuff. So let's try this and see if it will work. Max. Hmm. Something went wrong while initiating the swap. Your request was not submitted. Wow. One last resort. If it doesn't work, I would I would, still put up the video. So this was what I ended up using to refuel. So basically, in the course of the swap, I toggled the refuel button, the refuel option. Like you can use a refueler here as well, this one, but you can do it in one transaction. I don't know why it's not displaying it anymore. But typically to display the option to refuel and then you can toggle it on or off. Otherwise, you would need to use this because you do need gas fee on Hype to complete the bridge transaction. So let's try here one last effort. Mm, I didn't expect it to be this tough. Um, so USD to receive Hype. Now I don't know why it's telling me to get gas. Why is it telling me to get gas? Like something is wrong. Receive. Okay, this is the refueler. Just a moment. Sorry about that. Hyper. Okay, so it's adding. Hopefully, it adds a more relevant RPC this time. So this looks like it will work. Jumper. So I think the gas refueler option did not show up because it's on the same chain and it has realized that I have gas fee. Okay, so this worked for the swap, even though project X didn't. So it's likely that project X will work here because like it looks like when the new credentials, maybe it has a recent RPC. So all these issues you may not experience at your end, but assuming you experience it, then you know how to resolve it. What's going on? Okay. So this is 0 0.8. Okay. So I'm going to try to swap here one more time. If it doesn't work, then we will move over to the other. So suddenly it's working. Wow. Okay. So confirm. Now, interestingly, it didn't even ask for an approval. Okay, let's not dwell on that. Now to liquidity provisioning. I'm interested in this pool. So what's this? Okay, that's slippage. So there's no need to touch anything here. By the way, you can use my invite, when joining. I'll put it in the description. If you are finding this video on YouTube, you'll find it in the description. If on X, you will find it an image of it. So going to points, you will see my rank is one. No, 0 points, practically zero rank. If we look here, points update every 24 hours. Let's click on learn more. Then my position is here. I can also claim yield. Yield is as high as this. Interesting. Boost. Okay, so one can, if you get a referral invite you'll be using, you'll be getting a 10% boost. So I didn't even know that. So you may want to use a link for a boost in terms of points earnable. And learn more. So there's a documentation. Points are earned by providing liquidity, trading, inviting others. Now, you definitely want to invite others. They will also get 10% boost on their points. Points are based on the fees you generate. So, you may want a more lucrative pool since it's based on points, on fees generated from the LP. You'll earn less points than someone who deposited 10K in liquidity pool and earned $1,000 in fees. So, more TVL contribution will result in more points. 1 million points are distributed every 24 hours. There's also a point multiplier for the top 100 daily points earners for the first month. We are focused on rewarding users who genuinely provide value to Project X. Any users trying to abuse the system through wash trading, etc. So they don't recommend wash trading and all that. Use it organically. You now understand what Project X is. Basically, should be your default DEX when interacting with Hyperevm. For many, this will be their first DEX and first avenue into Hyperevm ecosystem. You now have more use for your hype, and you now know how to move it over to Hyperevm. For inquiries, you can ask me via airdropc.com. For those on X, you can message me, but if you're watching on YouTube, then airdropc.com. Scroll down to the bottom and use this form, this Telegram, or this Twitter. Subscribe to Airdrop reminders. Submit your email here. I'm working on 100 solid Airdrop prospects. Each will have its own publication tutorial coming soonest to subscribers. All the additional information will be in the description. Stay awesome, take action.